This is a History Channel production.
Attila the Hun.
Attila seized the throne in 434 AD. One fact that's not well known yet is that he never ruled solely. He was always ruling alongside his brother Buddha. The reason for this joint rule can be found in that Buddha's father, Rugila, died in 434. When he died in 434, he was forced to announce his son as ruler. But knowing that Attila had many qualities amenable to ruling disparate people such as the Mongols, he also made him ruler. Attila ruled and expanded the Mongol Empire until his death in 453, and while he may be known as a devastator, he was regarded as a hero in the Hun Empire, and he managed to expand his empire 10 times larger than Rugila was able to.
The Fall of Italy.
In 450, Attila had received a proposal across from Maria, sister of the Emperor Valentinian III. She asked Attila for marriage to escape a previously set-up marriage. Attila accepted, but asked for half of the Western Empire as a dowry. Valentinian had insisted that the proposal was not legit. Attila insisted that it was sincere, so they fought. Attila returned in 452 to marry Honoria, tearing out and leaving Italy in ruins along his way. When near all of Italy was in ruin, that's when they negotiated peace. Valentinian and Pope Leo met him in Mincio. There Attila had agreed to their conditions. He leaves in peace, he will have an alliance with Valentinian, and his successor will receive a holy crown. And that was it.
Now Attila had died in the early months of 453 AD. The early months I am referring to is somewhere between April and May. Well, they are not quite sure. And there are three more accepted theories of his death by scholars. The first one, this is the most accepted theory, is that he had suffered from a severe nosebleed, which sent him into the loss of blood, sent him into a state of unconsciousness, where he had choked to death on his own blood. Now, the reason this is most accepted by the scholars is because it was proven that he had died within a time of great celebration, and there were many drunks, and they had been fighting. Another theory also goes along with the celebration, is that he had actually succumbed to internal bleeding caused by heavy drinking, and he had been overcome by a condition called esophageal varices. Esophageal varices is a condition where veins in your neck become dilated, and they stretch, and they rupture, giving you a hemorrhage. And now, as we all know, you will die if you have a hemorrhage. And this is the second most believed theory by scholars. The third one isn't as believable because I will explain it. It was recorded nearly 80 years after the events of the Roman chronicler Count Marcellinus, and it's actually stated, this is a quote, Attila, king of the Huns and ravagers of the provinces of Europe, was pierced by the hand and blade of his wife. Now, the reason that it's rejected by most scholars is that, what's my pager? Is that there are documents that can prove. Now, what I mean by documents is that there's papers that were discovered that can prove there were letters actually home to his wife that could prove that his wife wasn't even with him. And this is why it's most rejected by many scholars. And they reject them, say no more than heresy. And so scholars nowadays are preferring the account given by his contemporary Paraskis, which was the first one of the nosebleed. The problem with the nosebleed was that lately the account has been under scrutiny by a man named Michael A. Babcock. Based on philological analysis, Babcock can conclude the account of his natural death was it could have been an exceptional cover story by the Emperor Marcian who was the Eastern Roman Emperor at the moment. Emperor Marcian had been a cause behind Attila's death, and he had merely used the severe nosebleed as a cover-up. But it's ancient history. We might just never